circus life can be rough. There were times when we didn't have enough money to eat beans. When it was windy, we brought the tent down and we would be 3-4 days without working and the food was well. The circus has its good and bad parts. Sometimes it gives us enough to eat and sometimes it doesn't.
But it was here that Jorge grew up and earned his nickname of El Mel Mel, the Tumbler. He began in the circus at age 4 and worked as a clown, an acrobat, a juggler, pretty much anything he was called on to do. His family has been in the circus for almost a century, and the present-day version is run by his grandmother, who herself has been performing for over 50 years. Yet it was Jorge who became its most well-known performer, both inside and outside the tent. And he still returns as often as possible to work with his family, entertaining both the young and the old, wherever the big top comes to a rest.
I'm the clown in everything that I do. I'm the picture of a clown, and it's what I do most, clowning.
And in boxing, it's no different, where even in training, Jorge puts on a show for the crowd.
What I like the most about boxing is that I get a lot of support from the people around me. When I'm dancing and clowning around and doing all of my things that people like, that's what I like.
And so far, the fans have loved him. Taught to box at an early age by his uncle, Jorge was one of Mexico's top prospects when he stepped into the ring last August to challenge Calvin Grove for his IBF featherweight title. A huge underdog and way behind on points, Paez knocked the American down 3 times in the 15th and final round to capture the decision and the title. The rematch 2 months ago was a different story, as defending champion Paez used his strength to outmuscle Grove and to knock him out in the 11th round with his crushing left uppercut. And though there's no mistaking his flamboyance, he still has realistic dreams.
My dream is to make enough money in boxing to support my grandmother's circus for her with what I earn. I want to fight as long as it takes to be able to do that. Retire, then support my family well, and, oh yes, work in the circus.
Well, several busloads of followers have come up to watch their man, Jorge Paez, defend his title. Louis Espinoza wants to take it away and get his second belt. Boxing in a moment. They are away from the ring, inside the ring. What kind of a fight are you anticipating here this afternoon?
Well, Jorge Paez is just as crazy in the ring as he is out of it, but when he's clowning around, you shouldn't make the mistake that Jorge Paez is a clown. He's a tough fighter. He proved that in those 2 fights with Calvin Grove, who was a very skilled and very highly favored American fighter. The key to that fight was Grove did not have enough of a punch to get Paez's respect, and Louis Espinoza must hit Paez early and often to get into the fight. Louis is a slow starter as a fighter, and he's a fighter who sometimes is too much of a